Hey guys, welcome to my shop, aka my shed. Today we're going to be looking at this lovely 2011 Avanti Vivace road bike. Bought this one for a friend on Marketplace. She's going to be doing triathlons, so with the swim and the run to worry about, the last thing she needs is a bike that's unreliable. So we got to get this thing absolutely working perfectly for her. We're going to be doing something a little bit differently today in that I'm going to be wearing a GoPro on my head so you guys can get a real hands-on first-person view with what I'm actually doing. And that means that hopefully you guys can pick up some tips and tricks, or because I'm an amateur and I'm always learning, you guys can also give me some tips and tricks. First video, we're going to just be going through the bike, giving it a good look over, seeing what we're going to need for the service. And then in following videos, we'll strip it down, we'll repair some parts, we'll adjust some parts, we'll give it a clean. And by the end of it, we'll have a pristine working bike, hopefully, fingers crossed. For now, let's get into it and start wrenching on this bike. Alrighty, let's have a squiz at this thing. So I'm going to start at the back for no particular reason, just because I feel like it. And let's have a quick spin of this wheel. Straight away, it's not too bad, but there is just a little dip. Don't know if you can see that. There's a little kick to the wheel, so we'll get this on the touring stand, but for the most part, I can't feel any sort of damage. Hopefully it's not bent and buckled. Hopefully it's something we can just fix on the touring stand. Other than that though, straight away, don't know if you can see this, but this tire is absolutely shot. It's just got dry rot. Doesn't look that worn, but maybe just been out left in the weather or something like that. There's just cracks everywhere. Could just be old, who knows, unused, unloved. But this tire is ready for the bin, unfortunately, so that's okay. Something else, straight away, these Continentals are notorious for this, but with these tires, you've got a more sort of fibrous part at the bottom where it locks into the rim, and then your more rubberized part at the top. Where those two meet, you can often find little sort of threads hanging out, and it looks like someone's just pulled on the thread and ripped it completely out because it's going the whole way around the tire. So hopefully you can see that. But yeah, these Continentals, one of the worst for doing that. So if you do get little threads hanging out of your Continentals, you can just cut them off to start with, but you want to keep an eye on it. You don't want it getting too bad to the point where you're losing all your threads and your sidewalls are just going to blow apart. So keep that in mind. While we're down here, let's have a look at the cassette. Apart from being a little dirty, it doesn't look too bad at all. Actually, let's go get the chain checker tool. And let's have bit of a look-see at this chain. Oh, nice chip out of the thing out there, that's okay. All right, 0.75, let's have a look at that. 0.75, it is going in. A little bit of resistance, but not too bad. So let's go to 0.1, or 1, sorry. Nah, nowhere near it. So that's pretty cool. That is good news. So my general rule of thumb is if it's at 0.75, it's time to replace the chain. If it's going anywhere near 0.1 or over 0.1, it's time to replace the chain and the cassette. So I think what we'll do in this scenario is we'll definitely replace the chain, but we'll see how the cassette goes. It does look okay. Usually if you get onto the chain early enough, you won't also have to replace the cassette, at least for a few goes. That can usually last maybe 2 or 3 chain swaps, maybe more if you really stay on top of your servicing. So we'll try that. If it does slip on the test ride, we'll just swap out the cassette as well. Let's look at the front derailleur while we're here. So it looks okay, slight scuff, bit of unraveling on the cable, but not too bad. Looks in quite good condition. Chain rings look okay. Teeth all look pretty good on that. Let's slap this back. I'm notorious at not being tidy, so let's try our best to stay tidy. Let's check out these brakes. Yep, works. Cable feels quite nice and loose actually, so that's good, quite smooth. Don't know if they're centered exactly right, but that's not too bad. Gears, check the rear. Oh, sluggish, does not want to change. Let's see if a bit of an adjustment can help that. There we go. Bit slow, we'll give it a bit more. Yep, a lot slow. Actually, I might have skipped up 2. Let's just do that again. Yeah, no, it's still a bit loose. Let's try that. That's better. Oh, all the way to the top. Good news. All right, so that's Had a bit of cable stretch, but other than that, that seems pretty good. Very dirty though, so we'll give it a good lubrication and everything. But for the most part, that seems fairly well adjusted and it works quite nicely. So that is great. Check the brake again. Boom. Front derailleur while we're here. Let's have a look at that one. So we're on the top already. Let's go down. Oh, nothing at all. That feels so stiff. There's just nothing. Yeah, nah. So, yeah, that's got 0. Does it want to go up? It does want to keep going up. So we've probably got either the limit screws in too tight, cables stuck on something, or the shifter itself is damaged, or this. This doesn't look like it's had any damage. Slight scuff. Looks pretty good, and it's pretty straight too. So we'll look at that one further when we strip this thing apart. I'm going to take a punt on it being okay and just an adjustment issue. But once we take the cable off it, that will see if it pops back. And if it's something more than that, then we'll diagnose it further then. But definitely something to look into. Let's have a look at the seat. A few scuffs, but all in all, not a bad looking saddle. A lot of padding still left in it, so that's nice. Don't know if that's an actual carbon seat post. Kind of feels like it. Doesn't feel like aluminium, but hard to tell. We'll find out when we roof that one out as well. These cheapo old lights will be coming off it, but I guess nice to get a little something extra for free. We also have a wireless cat-eye strata odometer thingy there, so that's a nice little throw in too. Considering what I paid for this bike, I'll take anything I can get for free. Coming out the front, a few scratches, scuffs. Big old paint chip over here, I've just noticed, on the Avanti logo. So we'll definitely be cleaning that up, touching that up, making this bike look a little bit more pristine. Carbon spacers on the steerer tube, that's nice. Rusted bolt there, so we might swap that out or at least clean it up. There's a little computer, see if that one's working at all. Around the front, straight away, we've got, these are a bit worse for wear, not terrible, but we'll swap out the grips. That is some of the most disgusting taping I've ever seen. I could not handle looking at that as I rode along, so we'll be swapping that out with the new grip tape. Now, okay, this is interesting. So straight away, obviously damage there. And that sort of damage you really only see when you do like a pretty decent crash, like you flip the bike or you really smash it into something on its side. Some small cracks, but everything feels okay. Mostly cosmetic, I'd say. But looking at this straight on, that one's not too bad. That one's pretty much straight on. This one's cocked heavily to the left. Had to figure that one out there. So that might have been from a crash, or it could have just been put on improperly, but that wouldn't feel good riding at all. Strange enough though, that one's more out of center. That one shifts fine, this one does not. So we're really going to have to look into that issue. Let's check out this front brake. Okay, so once again, straight away, huge gap to the wheel there. Very tight there. Let's actually see if it's just, is this been put in properly? Oh, that feels fine. Yeah, so that caliper's off center. Give it a spin. Well, as for true, it's pretty nice. It's got probably a 0.5 millimeter wobble. I'd be pretty happy with that. Whoops. Don't mean to smack you into the head with the handlebars. But yeah, wheel's pretty true. But caliper's definitely off center, and I guarantee, let's squeeze that. I don't know if you can make that out, but because it's so biased to this side, it's actually pulling the wheel over that way when you squeeze it. And that's not cool. That's just not great on the hub, not great on the wheel, and it's not great for braking either. So just an easy alignment with the caliper, and that'll be working great. But other than that, the pads look fine, caliper looks fine, cables feel fine. But yeah, that just brakes crap. It just hits that side way before it hits the other side, and it really wants to pull it over. Other than that, the hub sounds good. Doesn't sound like anything at all, so that's nice. No wobble that I can feel left to right. Let's check the headset while we're here. That actually feels really nice too. No movement that I can feel. It's a bit hard on this rickety stand, but that's not bad at all. So not sure if this will have sealer bearings or not, but we'll check that out. We're going to strip this bike completely down and make it look new again. So let's wrap this one up. Front and rear tires in the bin. Tubes are holding air, but we'll swap them out anyway because we want this bike to be super reliable, so we may as well start fresh considering they don't cost very much money. We've got the front derailleur issue to sort out. We don't know what's causing that shifting issue just yet, if it's an adjustment or something more. Bit of adjustment overall with the braking issues, bit of a true on that wheel. For the most part though, just a clean, some minor servicing will fix 90% of the issues. Next video, we'll start stripping this thing apart. But for now, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. If you've noticed anything that I haven't so far, put it in the comments below. If you'd like to support what I do, I've got a buy me a coffee page where you can sling me some cash for a beer, or you can check out my 9livesrides.com page for some merch there too. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know how this camera on top went. I hope I didn't make you too sick, but look out for the new video surely, and thanks so much again for watching.